Hey everyone, Poké Monster Steve here, back with another video. Today I have an old friend here to give his thoughts on Pokemon X and Y. I'm going to be asking him basic questions that pretty much everyone on the internet is doing right now. Like, what are their thoughts on X and Y? What are they thinking about the starters? What types the starters should evolve into? Basically everything I covered in my past videos. So, here he is, and go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name's Rob. People used to call me Forte RV back in the day, but that channel is no longer around. So here I am today, here to answer Steve's questions in regards to Pokemon X and Y. My thoughts initially are, well, they seem pretty cool, but we'll see what happens with the future info.
All right, Rob. So first off, I'll just ask you the basic. What are your thoughts on the whole X and Y names? Because, well, as we can see here by the Japanese logo, we have the little rainbow DNA symbol or whatever in the center. So everyone's been thinking it's going to be all about chromosomes, so that's pretty out there. But as you can see by the English name stuff for the titles, we don't really get anything with that. So that's putting people in a bunch of confusion and speculation. So, just what are your thoughts?
Personally, I do think they might be going for a whole DNA thing, but I'm still curious as to why the change to X and Y.
Hmm.
Granted, if they are going with the whole DNA chromosome sort of deal, then the change is understandable. You can't really do that with the colors and gems and all the previous name schemes.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Still, I do feel it could have been a bit of a lazy design choice, though I don't make this decisions. Nintendo does, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and then we have the whole speculation with what could the third game be? Could it be Pokemon X and XY2, or could it be Pokemon Z? I mean, we have the whole 3D speculation thing where it's X and Y, and if you add Z, it makes the full 3D image. I mean, we have a bunch of speculations at the moment, so what are your thoughts with that?
The thing is, if they're going to go with DNA chromosomes, then you can't put a Z in there because you've got male and I am stupid. You've got male and female chromosomes, which are X and Y respectively. The second chromosome is what decides whether or not a person is male or female at birth.
Yes.
So, if they're going to go with the genes, then they're most likely going to go X2 and Y2. If they're
Right.
not going to go with the genes, then we're going to see Pokemon Z.
And
Personally, I'm calling Pokemon Z just because it would be funny.
yeah, because we don't even know anything else really about the games because we don't have a third legendary. And speaking of the legendaries, well, we have Xerneas here, the odd Princess Mononoke deer thing. So, and we don't even know what this thing's types could be. So, what are your thoughts on Xerneas?
Personally, to start off, I think the name Xerneas is a very interesting choice. You can pronounce the X a multitude of different ways, so I'm actually going to wait for the official word from Nintendo as to how to pronounce it because I've pronounced it Xerneas, I've pronounced it Cross-Xerneas, I pronounced it Xerneas. There's a whole different way you have to do it every single time, and I'd rather avoid the confusion as much as possible.
And there might be another movie coming out, especially for these legendaries, so we might be just be getting the names translated then. So that
As
should be interesting.
as far as typing goes, I think Xerneas, as I'm going to call it for now, is probably going to be a psychic dark type. It would be the only one of its kind, which would actually be quite unique for a legendary because, as we've seen over time, occasionally there have been legendaries that lost their unique typing for whatever reason. So it'd be nice to see one with its own typing again.
Yeah, because the last Pokemon we got that had unique typing, I believe, was Kyurem, and then before that was I'm actually not sure. I think it was probably Dialga. But No, actually, Dialga and Palkia, because they were Dragon Steel and Dragon and Water.
The only thing is, Dragon Water was taken by Kingdra beforehand.
That's true. So yeah, we haven't really had any unique types recently. I mean, Dragon and Ice was definitely different, but yeah, that could be something. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Xerneas here could be possibly become a Psychic and Dark type? If not, go ahead, post below. Do you think it could possibly be a new type, like maybe a Light type, or who I don't know, a Galactic type or Genetic type? There's a lot of people speculating about types. So that's another question we could go into. But first, we'll go and speculate about the second of the game legendaries, which is going to be Yveltal. Alright, so next we have Yveltal. Uh, well, everyone knows, I guess, how my opinions on it, how I think it looked badass, so it looks kind of like a blood bird. But we still have people speculating on what this could be. Of course, from the trailer, we have it flying, so people are saying it's going to be a flying type. And then from the name itself, people are saying it's going to be dark type. But it's, in my opinion, it's just a pun on the name. Yveltal doesn't really need to be evil, per se. But what do you think there, Rob?
I agree with you that evil and Yveltal don't necessarily have to mix. It's a pun on evil, it doesn't mean it is evil. That being said, I do think Yveltal is a unique name, I mean, like Xerneas, but I'm not going to quote anybody because we still don't know the correct pronunciation. Then again, everybody loves their own pronunciations. Besides the point, though. As far as typing goes, it could be a dragon type, though we don't want any more dragons. Please, Nintendo, no more dragons.
Just like how we don't want another firefighting.
Anyways, it could be a dark type, it could be a whole new type, and it could be a psychic type. That being said, it could also be a flying type, so it's really up in the air. As far as I'm concerned, a dark type legendary would be nice. Considering we have gotten a ghost one, it would be nice, and we've gotten a psychic one. We've also gotten a dark one, but that was a single type. Maybe a psychic dark type like Xerneas, but who knows? We'll find out when we get more info.
Yeah, we have until October until we can actually get all the info we're ever going to need about the game. So, yeah, go ahead, guys. Post down in the comments what you think this could be. We have our thoughts, so go ahead and post yours. And with that, let's actually get into the starters. So last up, we have the starters. We all know my opinions on them from my video, so I'll have a little link on the screen here to bring you back to that. But anyway, this is Robert's opinion, so right off the bat, what do you think these things could possibly evolve into? Because we do know that these are grass, fire, and pure water types starting out.
I think Chespin is going to evolve into a sort of raccoon-like deal. So maybe a normal grass. I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. Who knows? We could have something completely different, or we could go with another grass dark. Who knows? As far as Fennekin goes, I'm thinking maybe fire and ground, or oddly fire and rock. We have seen a fire and rock type.
Yes, we have it. Like we've had Camerupt and Nummel, I believe.
No, Camerupt and Nummel were fire and ground. Fire and rock belong to Slugma and Macargo.
Ah, okay.
As far as Froakie goes, definitely sort of a frog-like evolution, but the cloud on its back has me wondering, maybe a water psychic type evolution? I mean, I'm not sure if we've had a water psychic before, so it's always possible. As far as what Fennekin is going to evolve into, and I know I kind of backtrace, but I'm thinking a sort of just small fox, medium fox, big fox.
Or as people also have speculated, could be another Ninetales clone, being the Nine-tailed fox. But I really don't think that. That's just what people have been saying online, what could happen, because foxes do have a lot to do with Japanese and Chinese mythology. So that could be a thing, but we'll just have to wait and see for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go jumping on that bandwagon too soon.
And then, of course, we have the speculations just from the trailers that Froakie not really being a flying and water type, but more of a fighting and water type. And then Fennekin, of course, being fire and psychic. And then, like you said, Chespin being grass and dark. But again, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Alright, and with now the starters being out of the way, I'm just going to be showing a pretty basic image from the game so that Robert can give his final opinions on just designs in general.
Starting off, I would like to mention that, well, they did a good job with just the initial renditions of the game. Obviously, these are not final pictures, but still, from what we've seen so far, it looks to be good. Everything seems solid. I would like to complain a little bit on the reusing of old materials, but then again, that happens all the time in the gaming industry, so there's not much room for me to say anything there. As far as quirky designs, well, Froaki's kind of quirky. Xerneas is definitely interesting because it's only half of an X instead of a full X, but then again, there could be reasons behind that. Logo design is your standard logo. There's not much to say there. So, other than that, I'd say the battles have me... I don't know what to say.
Well, it is definitely a big jump from what we're used to.
It's definitely a big jump. Definitely. But I will say that they did a nice job with even the initials. I'm kind of curious as to what they're going to do for the final rendition for everything. Since everything's obviously going to be in full 3D, it could be quite amusing. I have to say it. It's going to be amusing. Now, what I really want to see is what they're going to do with the touchscreen. If it's going to be simple 2D or if it's going to be actual 3D. That's going to be something new.
Well, the touchscreen isn't really a 3D camera, though. You can't really use the touchscreen to do anything.
The thing is,
3D.
though, they can still use 3D models in there. It might not look like it originally, but if you can look close enough, then it's still there. It'll still have the 3D renditions.
You probably do something with the Pokédex for that. You can
Definitely.
You can just
That's another thing.
kind of like how we have with the Pokédex 3D already, the app for the 3DS. Just on the bottom screen, we'll be able to touch it, maybe rotate the Pokemon, get to see all the different 3D angles to it. But we're just gonna have to wait and see, really, what we get. I mean, do you have any other final thoughts? Do you really enjoy the whole actual getting behind the shoulder look? Do you prefer the old-fashioned look where we had the above bird's eye view look?
Granted, this is still kind of a bird's eye view look, but it's much closer to the ground, so it's going to be something I have to get used to. I've been here since Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, and Yellow, so this is going to be interesting. It's an interesting intake, it's an interesting camera angle, but I'm still going to wait for the finalized screenshots.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm waiting on too, personally. I mean, I didn't really cover this much in my own video, but we do have a pretty big advancement compared to what we're used to. We get this whole new camera look, we got everything in full 3D. I mean, heck, we could possibly even have possible character customization finally.
If they do that, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I'll be happy right then and there.
That'd be getting a lot of people happy. Then we could actually, heck, we have people who do Nuzlockes who would be happy getting their own characters made into Pokemon characters they can make in the game itself.
Something tells me, though, that they might not do it. But
I mean,
keep your fingers crossed. Who knows? They might pull it off.
And who knows? Nintendo is possibly going to be doing stuff with DLC eventually. I mean, every company now is doing it. So, I mean, it would be a good change. We could probably get, like we have in the past with the Pokemon contest and Pokemon musicals, how we're able to customize our Pokemon. Maybe we'll have, now we can actually download through Spot Pass or Street Pass, is it? Where maybe you could get new outfits from other friends that you passed through Street Pass.
Well, going into final thoughts, I'm just going to say all of this is speculation, and I personally don't like speculating too much. So I am going to be keeping a corner eye view of Pokemon X and Pokemon Y for more information on occasion. So I'm kind of iffy on this one. I was iffy on Black and White. I was iffy on Black and White too. But this one, I'm even more so iffy because there's just such a lack of information.
Alright, so that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for tuning in for this pretty long video, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.